When the first Avengers film was released by Marvel Studios in 2012, it was considered a pivotal film because it was a combining of separate films into a single shared universe of prior films, but had little to no connections to one another. It was considered the start of the original era of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the speculative scenario is this: what was the purpose of the Avengers eating shawarma? During the events depicted in the movie, Tony Stark mentions to the other Avengers that once the Battle of New York was concluded and hopefully they survived the invasion by the Chitauri, the group of them would go to a shawarma eatery that he knew about. None of them even knew what shawarma was, but Tony reassured everyone that the food would be worth it and it was something that they all had waiting for them once the battle was concluded. And one of the final scenes of the film started with the group quietly eating some of the food at the place which was mentioned by Tony. Shawarma is a dish of Middle Eastern origin from the Levant region. It's technically a vague term to describe cutting meat into thin slices from a vertical or even horizontal spit. Older traditions only use lamb or mutton due to the availability or scarcity of meat. But in newer times, preparation holds chicken, beef, or veal. Shawarma can also be eaten in a variety of ways. There isn't an exact method of preparation or consumption, as it can vary by area or region or even country within the greater Middle East. At the time, it was considered an out-of-place scene for the movie, and didn't make much sense to those who had seen the film. Not being important to the overall scope of the original Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was the only scene in the era to specifically mention or depict a particular food. Those of Middle Eastern origin or those knowledgeable in Middle Eastern culture commented that shawarma is actually a street food of everyday consumption. Tony Stark probably came across it during his time in Afghanistan and later found a place to eat it in New York City upon returning to the United States, as shown in the film. Others mentioned that the line of eating shawarma was actually an improvisation by Robert Downey Jr. and conflicting sources held the line being expounded upon by either curiosity by Marvel Studios producers or the fact that something of such needed to be done or explained to avoid such a bizarre comment in the film. This is confirmed in the fact that the scene was conceived of on film shortly after the post-production for the entire movie was completed, as when casual and serious audiences watched the particular scene, there was an increase with interest for Middle Eastern cuisine in the United States and Europe for a period of time after the film was shown in international theaters. With everything considered, the scene was later considered to be a display for references or details in the movie rather than an actual post-credit scene for various circumstances of the original era within the Marvel Cinematic Universe.